right. Almost done. There. Perfect. Hey CNC peeps, Liberty here. Since so many of you were interested in the little V-bits from the previous V-bit testing video, today we're going to be focusing on just the LV series. These are 1/8 inch little V-bits in 30, 60, and 90 degree. We're going to be carving out some mandalas.
idcwoodcraft.com.
Now onto the design. I'm using a few extra tools here because symmetry is not my friend in artwork. So I've got a really nice mandala I've pulled off of Google here, but we don't want to steal anybody's artwork. We're using this to get ourselves some base measurements and symmetry going on and then make it our own. And then we're going to throw that into Vectric for a lot less work and perfect symmetry. You'll see what I mean. Now I'm going to get this split into a quadrant. That way we have a direct corner or quadrant to work with. Instead of following that circle, I'm actually gonna do the same thing, find a similar circle. That looks mostly right. That's all I ever aim for, is mostly right. Okay, actually, not too bad. Not too bad. It lines up pretty well with that one. We don't know if that one's symmetrical either. I'm going to use the fact that theirs has kind of, their design here has kind of split it into thirds. And I think that's going to help me with my symmetry. So I'm going to pull that out of the design as well. Beautiful. Honestly, I think that's about all I'm going to use from this design. Now I just got to decide what I actually want to do. When symmetry is not your friend, never be afraid to use tools in your surroundings. Look at that cute little moon. Well, there we go, taping myself down to the table. Hopefully it starts to look better. Okay. Not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and go over everything with a pen and then we'll add in the final details. One of four designs done, at least on paper. Now, you may be like, why are we drawing? We're supposed to be creating vectors. We're supposed to be CNCing here. Well, I always love creating everything myself, and you guys don't want to watch me fiddle around with circles and scissors on Vectric for 3 hours while I design this. So I thought I would at least draw something up, give you guys an example, and then use my wonderful shaper trace to turn it right into vectors so I don't have to fiddle around with anything. If you don't know what the shaper trace is, I'll put the video right here, but don't leave just yet. We've walked through everything on how to use it, and here I know exactly how my results should turn out. Look at that. We can do a center line, a bit clearer image. I don't like that. There we go. V-carve. Go in and make a few adjustments. I did have a few things that I needed to erase, but now it's time to flip it. Now pulling it into the software here straight off of my files from the Tracer website. Now that it's in the software, I'm going to do some editing that I'm sure you guys don't want to see, so we'll skip past that, but then I'll show you the tool that we're going to use. Now that I've got that all cleaned up, we're going to do something a little bit different with our tools. We're going to go over to the Transform Objects tools, and that fourth one, the Mirror Selective Object, and I'm going to mirror that to the right. Now it's not perfect. We've got some lines we've got to close in here to make everything connect, but that's okay. Those will be easy to adjust. Let me adjust those and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, now that those are all trimmed, we're going to grab everything here and let's bring it back to the middle a little bit. And we're going to use that same tool, but instead this time I'm going to flip it to the bottom. Again, creating that mirrored copy. And then we just need to adjust those lines a little bit. And I'll get back with you when that's done. I think that's it. Next step, run it through the toolpath. Oh my gosh! It actually looks like something. I'm pleasantly surprised. I wasn't really sure if the end of that was gonna look cohesive. And man, that mirrored toolpath literally saved me like 10 times. Well, I mean like at least 3 times the work. So we've got 4 designs. The one that we've designed using the shaper trace we're gonna start with, and I've decided this 60-degree little V-bit fits best with this design to show off the degree difference. Just like with anything, I'm trying to learn and improve, so I've pulled out my IDC Woodcraft checklist. If you want your projects to go as smoothly as possible, get yours in the description below to make sure everything's checked off. Since this project has so many bits involved, we're gonna be doing at least 3 different ones, including the extras to finish out the project. So we're at 5 bits. I'm setting a work offset in my machine to make sure that X and Y are perfect every time, and I only have to worry about setting the Z for each bit. In the G-Sender control software, that looks like your G56, G57, and G58 controls. I chose mandalas for this design in general because I do see them everywhere in a lot of scroll artwork and fine detail work. So I decided to take a look at the history of the mandala, what they actually mean, and what I would be representing by carving one. The word mandala translates to circle in Sanskrit. While the mandala originated in India, it has been used all throughout different religions and cultures such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and more. Mandalas have been used as sacred visual maps and meditation representing the cosmos. So I designed a few of my own mandalas for this, so when I sit down for my daily cup of coffee, I have a little reminder to take a moment and pause. I think this turned out very nicely with the 60-degree. The details, I think with the 30-degree, like this depth would have taken, or width, sorry, would have taken longer with the 30-degree, and I think the details fleshed out so nicely using the 60-degree. Now I've got one that's even higher detailed just for the 30-degree. IDC Woodcraft strives to include all levels of hobbyists within the products that we offer. The little V-bits are just another example of bringing in everybody from the big old alt mills to the little bitty CNCs who are kept in the closet until the project comes. These little Vs are a gateway for those of us with tiny machines, tiny spaces, but big ideas ready to achieve beautiful, high detailed carves, just like the Joneses who own a 4x4 CNC machine. If you have any suggestions for 1/8" tooling that you'd like to see us carry, comment them down below. We love having everyone's input, and I'd love to try out some new bits on my itty bitty machine. That's the 30-degree ran. I'm very pleased with the high detail. Now I did add in that 0.02 step down difference in this, the same that I did with the 60-degree. And in the future with this design, I probably wouldn't. It's broken off a couple of the details, but I know now, and I wouldn't have known had I not run it. So I call this a success, ready to move on to the 90-degree. Let's see what it does. Now you watched me go through the design process of this. To speed these ones up a little bit, I went to a free Mandala coloring drawing page site and grabbed these two so we'd have a perfect array of mandalas for this design. I do not condone stealing from artists. Always make sure that your work is free to use. 90-degree V-bit. Let's see what it can do. I really wanted these wide details on the edges of this flower. I'm pleased with how that turned out with the 90. You can see we got similar results over here with a lot of these up swoops. We get a nice wide contrast without actually going super deep. Whereas with something like the 30-degree, achieving that would go a lot deeper to get that width going on. I actually intended to save these little more berry swoops inside the petals for the 30-degree, so you could have that 30-degree coming back into that 90 and have that contrast. But it actually worked out pretty well. They kind of have that berry bulbous look with the wider 90-degree angle. Now onto the 60. I spent quite a bit of time designing this final one. I was very intentional with the center being for the 90-degree with its width on those petals. And then the next stage being for the 60-degree. The 60-degree is that perfect little in-between. As it kind of does sit in between, you get a little bit deeper details, higher details like the 30-degree, but you can get a lot more of the width faster like the 90-degree, and it's kind of that happy medium. It's turning out so good. These V-bits are epic. Between these two segments, I kept the design very similar but slightly different. And as you can see, it handled the details differently. It gives us that, again, perfect in between. You've got width here, but not too much depth. You're not losing detail like you are a bit there. Again, I like that. It turned out very berry-like, but you're almost losing a bit of that detail with the wider degree, whereas this has that wide detail and depth. Now it's time to get super fine with the 30-degree. Like I said, when I was designing this, I was very intentional, and look at these scrolls. All of these bits individually are so gorgeous. They all have their own power details and everything that they can do, but combined, that is just magnificent. These V-bits are an incredible way for those of us with small machines, desktop machines, 1/8-inch machines, to achieve this high detail, these beautiful designs, and this wonderful contrast between all of these V-bits. From signs to scroll art to filigree in your framing, these little V-bits are perfect, and I hope this has inspired anyone with a little machine and little details to create a big design. And I call that a successful little V-bit project. If you're interested in trying out the little V's for yourself, be sure to check them out in the description below. Comment how you would use the mirror tool to keep symmetry in your projects. If you're ready to keep learning, check out this video for more. Like and subscribe so you never miss more new CNC content. Learn more now. Go to woodcraftresources.com.